A year ago, the electric vehicle manufacturing industry in Canada was not on the public radar. Flash forward a year, and that's changed considerably. There have been some big announcements about EV plants opening in Ontario. And yesterday, we had the announcement of a $160 million battery plant that's going to be opened in Quebec. Now, the company that is the principal here is putting in 60 million, Canada is putting in 50, and Quebec is putting in 50. So to talk about this agreement, we're going to be joined by Joanna Kiriasis from Clean Energy Canada. So welcome to the interview, Joanna.
Hi, thanks, Markham. Thanks for having me.
Look, give me your overview of the significance of this announcement for the Canadian EV manufacturing industry.
So we have been talking about building up Canada's EV battery supply chain for a while. That was something that was featured pretty heavily in Canada's Strengthened Climate Plan that came out in December. And specifically, there's a fund, the Net Zero Accelerator Fund, that says it will go to support, or some of the money will go to support the building up of our EV supply chain. But what we find is that while Canada may have a lot of the ingredients along the supply chain, the metals and minerals, new deals to produce electric vehicles in Canada, whether it be passenger vehicles or buses and trucks, there's not really continuity along that supply chain. We're missing some of the pieces. And so what's great about this recent announcement, or yesterday's announcement, is now we're adding one more anchoring piece to that full value chain by having a battery pack assembly plant for Lion Electric that will go and feed into its buses and trucks.
Now, I've been doing a lot of interviews with global EV manufacturing experts lately, and they talk about how there are three big blocks emerging: China, Europe, and the United States, and I guess we would be included with that. And those other EV powerhouses are taking very coordinated efforts and putting a lot of money into this. And by the sounds of it, Canada is doing okay, but not being as assertive or as forward-looking as maybe some of those others. Would you agree with that or disagree?
Agree. Canada has recognized this as an opportunity, and we've even started to form a brand by calling it Canada's Mines to Mobility Advantage. But really, we're doing too little, too late. The speed at which other countries and regions are moving to try to capture a piece of this rapidly growing battery industry, we're just not keeping up. And so if we look at some of the states in the US, for instance, and the incentive packages that they are offering up, we're seeing municipalities, states, and the federal government come together and put forward, tax breaks, free land, direct investments, sometimes totaling, 70 or more % of the overall investment for these big battery cell production plants. And they deliver, a couple thousand jobs for each facility. And so, yes, Canada, we're seeing our government step up to support Ford Motor Company's recent investment. Apparently, there is some government funding behind the Stellantis and the GM similar EV investments. We saw provincial and federal government supporting this Lion Electric battery assembly plant, but I think we need to really ramp up and try to capture some more key players, including cell production in particular.
Now, let's talk about the Quebec government, because it actually has a commercial EV manufacturing strategy. And it consists of using Quebec minerals, producing commercial EVs, and developing battery recycling, sort of a three-pronged approach here. That's far more well-developed and aggressive than any other province, as far as I can see.
Absolutely. If Canada at the federal level could learn from what Quebec has done at the provincial level, then we'd be in relatively good shape. So, as you said, Quebec is really trying to put a number of different measures together. So, one is supporting the production of battery grade materials like lithium. The Quebec government has supported Nemaska Mines, which is a company that's looking to produce battery grade lithium. We're seeing these investments supporting battery pack assembly and also the actual medium and heavy electric vehicle production. Medium and heavy duty, I mean. The last piece, as you mentioned, is the recycling side, where, Lithium Recycling is a Quebec-based company. They just announced a big deal with Hyundai to recycle their end-of-life batteries. So, Quebec is in great shape. And the one thing they're doing better than really almost any other province is to focus on growing the local demand, the local market, right? They're the ones with the zero emission vehicle standard for passenger vehicles that requires the sale of EVs. They have hinted at moving forward with a zero emission vehicle standard for medium and heavy duty vehicles soon as well. So they're making sure there are buyers as well as producers of these vehicles and their batteries.
The final question, Joanna, and this is something that I've thought for a long time, and it seems to be be the case, and that is that when you have a big structural shift in a sector like the auto industry is going through, that opens up tremendous opportunity for areas like Quebec that haven't been big players in the past. But now that everybody's kind of on a more equal basis, you can almost catch up to, like say, Quebec catches up to Ontario in terms of its manufacturing capability, and then get all the benefits, the economic benefits and job benefits that come with that. And it seems like, Quebec gets it, but too many other provinces are really not getting it. And even a province like BC that claims to get it, but is, kind of tepid on the ground. Would you agree with that?
I think it's both. So I do want to say there is something to be said for having the infrastructure in place. Ontario is a prime potential beneficiary of this automotive shift, and we'd really like to see that province step up and leverage its automotive heritage and capture some of the benefits like Quebec is doing. On BC, I think you're right. If you look at the way this industry is transitioning, we're seeing a lot more happening in the US, West and South, in California, in Nevada, and I think there's potential for BC to kind of capitalize on some of the activity that's happening regionally, and then maybe even carve out a specific niche for itself. And so maybe BC really focuses on battery production for marine vehicles. We've already got Corvus Energy there making electric batteries for ferries, and there are some hydrogen players there as well, Ballard. So I think that the BC government is looking at what its opportunities are in building a local zero emission vehicle industry. It's also got the mining piece. But again, I think we just need to be moving faster. And one sector that BC hasn't really prioritized is manufacturing. There's a battery company in BC called E1 Moly Energy. They produce batteries. They want to build a battery facility there, but it's hard to get the BC government to support just manufacturing as compared to digital or clean tech.
Joanna, thank you very much. Always appreciate your insights.
Thanks for having me, Markham.